I work at a fast food joint on the outskirts of Columbus, Ohio. I work the night shift, so I'm routinely trapped in that place until 2 in the morning. It's not that bad, though. I get paid extra for working late, and I don't have class until the early afternoon. The downside is that it's spooky as hell. The restaurant is located on the corner of a block in a lower income area. It's a very strange place for a fast food joint, as there really aren't a lot of businesses around besides the gas station across the street. The block the place is on seems mostly residential, and the majority of houses are one-story and in various states of disrepair. There are 3 ways in and out of the store. There are 2 doors in the lobby, one of which gets locked at 8 p.m. for safety reasons, and the other which gets locked at 10 p.m. when the lobby closes. It's common practice for employees to unlock these doors after 10 p.m. to go smoke. They stand just outside the door while smoking, then lock it as they come back in. Sometimes, though, they forget to lock the door behind them, and sometimes they let people in by accident. Now, whenever people come in after close, you can always tell by the door chime ringing throughout the place, and whenever that happened, 2 employees would go out into the lobby and tell whoever was standing there that we were sorry, but the lobby was closed, and they'd have to leave. They've always left. It's never been a problem before. The other night, I was working with John, a tall black guy, and Katie, a short, cute redheaded girl. The shift was going as usual, although a little slow due to the falling snow. At about 1 a.m., however, we hear the door chime ring. The sign a lobby door has been opened. So John and I go to the lobby, prepared to tell whoever was in there that we were sorry, but the lobby was closed and they'd have to leave. Suddenly, the back door alarm went off. You see, the 3rd way out of the building is a door in the very back of the store that they use to load food and stuff off the supply truck every week. It only opens from the inside, and an alarm sounds whenever you open it, and keeps sounding until the code is entered. We rush to the back to check it out, and the door is already closed, but the alarm was still blaring. I enter the code to stop the alarm, and we look around. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. But then we realize John's not in the back with us. The door chimes. Katie and I run back out to the lobby to see John sprinting outside into the darkness and the snow. We don't follow. We're too terrified to go out into the night with whatever made John go crazy. We lock the door back up, figuring John will call us to let us know to let him back in. We know he can't be long. The snow is overwhelming, and he didn't even take his coat. He never called, never came back, and no one has seen him since. His coat is still hanging up in the break room. I just wish I knew what he saw that made him run like that. I want to know if he's okay, but I never want to know how close it was to being me that ran out into the dark. This happened when I was about 9 or 10. My parents divorced when I was 3, and I was staying the weekend with my dad, whose house was at least 5 miles from any real town or city. The land was quite large, and though he didn't own much of it, I still played on it nevertheless. There was a large foresty area behind the house, which the window in my room was facing. One night, I was looking through this photo album that my dad had. It was mostly family photos, birthdays, Christmases. Towards the end were some pictures of the house, taken from the back, and each one closer than the one before. Several were of me playing in the forest. One was clearly taken from behind a tree, no more than 50 meters from where I was. I wasn't too fussed about it, since I assumed it was taken by my dad. I brought the book to him and asked why he took them, because they were so different from the rest of the pictures. He seemed bewildered, and began flicking through. I realized then that I hadn't looked through all of them, but he was nearing the final pages, the ones I hadn't seen. On the penultimate page, I noticed the color drain from his face. He was clearly nervous about turning the page. He finally did, and I noticed him shiver. He closed the album and immediately packed a bag for me and for him. We left the house in a hurry and returned only a few times before putting it up for sale. Apparently, he reported what he'd seen to the police, but they said there was little they could do. Skip forward like 5 years, and I asked him what was on those final pages. He was clearly distressed. He sat me down. He told me that they were pictures of me asleep, taken directly by my bedside. But the last picture was a picture of my window, taken from inside the room. Apparently, several people were stood outside my room with masks on, looking directly at the camera. I still don't understand why I didn't wake up while the person was in my room, since I'm usually a light sleeper. But I wasn't able to sleep well at all for the next few months, without making sure the window was locked and the curtains drawn.